into a nice comfortable position. And we're working to obviously get slow burn flow today. So we're going to get a bit of a burn in the legs, and we're going to be doing quite a lot of stretching, flexibility today. So we're playing with this theme of strength this week. And today we're kind of moving that onwards. So we're looking at what the balance of strength is, and that's flexibility. So in yoga, we generally have that nice 50-50 of strength and flexibility. So today we're kind of moving our strength into that flexibility side. So taking all the work that if you come to the other class we've done on our core, on our legs, keeping that really engaged and then moving further and allowing that to help us to stretch that little bit more, to kind of move that little bit further. So let's take the hands together at the heart center. Just soften the shoulders down towards the hips. Allow the eyes to close. Take a big deep inhale in through the nose. And out through the mouth. 2 more here. Big inhale in through the nose. And out through the mouth. Last one. Big inhale in through the nose. And out through the mouth. And we can begin to open the eyes. And we're going to move straight into a table pose. So moving straight to table. Let's take the wrists directly under the shoulders, taking the knees directly under the hips. And then we'll bring the belly down towards the ground. Bring the chest between the shoulder blades and lift the gaze. As we exhale, press through the hands, begin to round the spine. And moving here through the vertebrae, move from the hips first, just waking that back up. So nice, as gentle or as kind of fast or slow as you want, as feels right for you. Good, everyone. I wonder if some people think it's 6:30. We shall see. Just a few more here. Yeah, nice long breath. And then on your next exhale, we'll begin to settle back to that neutral spine. And we're going to begin by raising the right hand and raising the left leg. So if this is too much, you can take the hand down and simply do the leg, but otherwise, let's try and raise both. So I want you to stretch these fingers forward and flex through the back of the toe. Draw the navel in slightly, so we're not curving the spine here. On an exhale, we draw the elbow and the knee together around the spine. And then as we inhale, we stretch that back out. And exhale, draw the elbow and knee together. And inhale, extend. 3 more here. Exhale. And inhale. Good. Exhale. And inhale. Last one, exhale. Then inhale, and as we exhale this time, we're bringing the arm to 90-degree at shoulder height. And we're bringing the leg and the knee at 90-degree out too. See if you can lift this knee as high as you can. But take it out to side, flex the foot, and then inhale all the way back. 3 more here. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Last one. Exhale. And inhale, reach. And from here, just place that back foot so it's moving up towards the ceiling. And then reach around. We can grab hold of the foot with the right hand. Begin to lift that foot into the hand. And just give yourself a gentle release here into the tiger pose. Lifting the foot back into the hand, lifting the chest slightly. 2 deep breaths here. Inhaling, good. And exhale. Last breath, inhale. And then exhale, release. Let's change sides. Lifting the left hand all the way up, lifting the right leg back. Flex through that right foot. And then from here, draw the navel in to begin. And as you exhale, draw that elbow and knee together. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow and knee. Inhale, lengthen. 3 more here. Good. Exhaling and inhale. Exhale, high lily. And inhale. Good. Last one. Exhale, move in. Inhale to lengthen. And then as we exhale, we're taking this out to the side. So from here, let's take that left arm to a right angle and then draw that knee as if towards the right shoulder. Flex the foot, inhale, lengthen. 3 more here, exhale. And inhale. Keep the belly drawn in, exhale. And inhale, we'll do 2 more. Exhale. And inhale. Last one. Exhale. And inhale. From here, place that foot up towards the ceiling. Wiggle the hand around, grab hold of the foot, and lifting the foot up towards the ceiling. Lift the chest. Holding here, 2 deep breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Inhaling. And then exhale, just release all the way down. Let's place the hands a little bit forwards, tuck the toes under, draw the hips back. Engage through the core, and then let's lift the hips all the way nice and high. Draw that chest through. And then we can begin to walk the dog out. So pressing one heel down, bending the other knee, pressing the other heel down, bending the other knee. And just walking here, you can get the chest involved, moving the chest through the arms. Good. Lovely, everyone. You can take this slow or faster, whichever feels right. Good. Keep lifting the hips nice and high and keep that deep, long breath. And then let's come back to stillness in our downward facing dog. And from here, we're going to test our core a little bit. So we're drawing the hips all the way nice and high. So keep lifting the hips up, up, up as we draw the chest through. And then from here, press down to this left hand. We're going to take the right hand to the middle of the mat. So it can either stay here and we twist the chest through towards the left, or you can grab hold of the left shin or left calf and begin to help you to twist round. We're going to hold for 3 breaths here in our twisted dog. Inhale. And exhale. Good, lovely everyone. Inhale, lift the hips. And as you exhale, twist a little more. Good. Last big breath here. Inhaling. Exhale, full twist. And then on the inhale, make your way back to your downward facing dog. Let's swap sides. So taking the left hand down towards the middle of the mat, and then maybe placing that hand to the calf and twisting through. And holding here, 3 deep breaths, inhaling. Good. And exhale. Lift the hips nice and high. And as you exhale, twist a little more. Good. Last big breath, inhale here. And exhale, release back to your downward facing. Just walk that dog out a little bit one more time. And then let's bend the knees. Look between the hands, engage the core, and just step these feet to hip distance apart to the top of the mat. And from here, let the hands fall down towards the ground, let the head release down. The shoulders, we still want the shoulders moving towards the hips rather than down towards the ears, even though the hands are fully released down on the floor. Press through the outer edge of the feet just slightly, and then press through the inner edge too. See if this can activate the glutes as we do this. One more big breath here. Big deep inhale. Exhale, fold. And then as we inhale, begin to roll all the way to standing. Once we're at the top, just take the hands up above the head. Interlace the fingers and press the palms up to the ceiling. Give yourself a full body stretch. Press down through the feet, press down through the palms. And then release the hands all the way down. Sorry, I thought my cat had opened the door and managed to come out. Okay, let's take the feet together at the top of the mat. Draw the hands down towards the mat. Lift the toes and spread those toes out and replace them back down. So feel fully grounded into the mat. From here, let's inhale, lift the hands. And as we exhale, we're going to drop these hips back. So we're coming to our chair pose. Look down, just make sure that you can see your big toes. And then lift these hands even more and draw the belly button inwards. Holding here in our chair. You can have the hands about shoulder distance apart, or they can come together. Up to you. As if you have a little block between the thighs, squeeze that block. Good. Lovely. Keep lifting the hands. Good. Keep drawing into the belly button. Beautiful. Really nice, Bethany. Natasha, Nicola, great. Jiro, Julie, love it. Lily can't see you, but I'm sure it's Brill. And Billy. Neve is somewhere. Good. Last big breath here. Inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to lower even further. So drop those hips really far down. If you're properly sitting in a chair, take the hands forwards and then draw the shoulder blades back. Draw the navel in. And we hold. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze into the thighs. Lift through the crown of the head. See if you can have a little smile here, even though it's horrible. We're going to hold it 3 more deep breaths. Inhaling. And exhaling. Good. 2 more here. Inhale. As you exhale, see if you can drop slightly more. Good. Draw the shoulders back. Last big breath. Inhale. And down to the hips. Good. Last big breath. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, we're going to take 2 breaths just with the heels off the ground. Holding for 2. Inhale. And exhale. Last breath. Inhale. And as we exhale, drop the heels back down. Lift your eyes and move the legs a bit of shape. Good work. Lovely. We fired up the legs at least. Okay. Once you're ready, we'll come to the top of the mat. We're going to lift the hands back above the head. Gaze to the thumbs. Lift these fingertips as high as you can. Stretch the fingertips to the ceiling. And as you exhale, forward fold to the palms to the ground. Bend the knees as much as you need. Inhale to halfway lift onto the fingertips. And then exhale, palms down, let's step back, moving through your vinyasa. So we want to rock that body forwards first, take the knees down or keep the knees lifted, eyes the elbows forward, release down either halfway or full, and then to your baby cobra or upward facing dog. Peel the chest through, draw the shoulder blades down, press through the toes. Good. As we exhale, come back to downward facing dog. Lovely. From here, let's lift this right leg nice and high. 3-legged dog, keep the hips square towards the mat, and then bend through this left knee. Look forwards and take this right foot between the hands. So you might have to grab hold of the ankle, draw it forwards. Then place this back foot down to the ground, and let's come up to rise. So we're moving towards our triangle pose here. So we want to open the hips out. And then you want to look back and make sure this front heel is in line with the arch of the back foot. Turn that back foot in, and then squeeze these thighs. They're really solidly moving together. So they're really strong. So if anyone came round, you wouldn't be able to move. Take the hands out and then look towards the right hand. Allow yourself to dip into that right hip and reach this hand as far forward as you can. And then once you think you've gone far enough, see if, as if somebody's pulling that hand, so you can go a little bit further. And then take the hand down to the shin, or you can bind with the toe if that's better, and lift this left hand. Watch out once you've done this, that we don't start to kind of sink into it. And we've arrived and we're happy. What we want to do is we want to lengthen through this crown of the head. Draw the back slightly further back. And then begin to twist towards the ceiling. Shoot these fingertips as far away from each other as they possibly can. And put as little weight through this right hand as you possibly can. Draw the shoulder blades down to the hips. We're going to hold in our triangle. Good. Inhaling deeply. Lovely. Really nice, Bethany. And exhale. Good. Nicholas, see if you can get that back a bit further back. Yes. Good, good, good. Lifting up just slightly. Good, good, good. Keep going back. Keep going back. Good. Yes. So we're drawing as if I've kind of got my hand behind your back, but just like a few centimeters away, and you're trying to reach that hand. Good. Nice. Lifting that other hand really nice and tall, everyone. And then exhaling, twist. Holding for a couple more deep breaths. Beautiful. Inhale deeply. Gaze towards that top hand if you can. Good. And exhaling. Creating a little more space between this right armpit and the right hip. So lengthening through there. Yes. Last big breath in our triangle. Inhale. And exhale. Looking down towards that right foot. Engage through the core and let's lift to stand. Good work. From here, we're going to take this back foot in quite substantially. So we want it quite close And then we draw the right hip back, the left hip forward. So squaring these hips off to the front foot. From here, very important, we want to press down through that back little toe as we keep drawing that right hip back, drawing the left hip forward. Squeeze these sides together, and then we have an option. We can either take hold of the elbows, or we can take the hands and wiggle them between the shoulder blades into a reverse prank, do whichever feels right for you. When you're ready, we'll lengthen through the crown. As we exhale, we're going to draw this chest down towards the toes. And breathe. Every inhale, I want you to imagine that I've got my hand on the top of your head and you're pushing against that hand. As we exhale, imagine that there's a string around the heart and around the toe, and that string is being pulled towards the toe. And we breathe and we hold. Good, really nice, everyone. Big, deep, strong breaths. And remember, with every breath, we can go a little bit further. So use that breath to help you. Keep pressing down through the outer back toe and squeezing the thighs together. Good. We're holding for 3 more deep breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling. Last big breath, gaze to the toes. Inhale and exhale. Final breath, big deep inhale, lengthen through that crown of the head as much as you possibly can. Good. Exhaling, folding that chest towards the toe. Go, 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 go. And then inhale with control. We're going to come all the way back. We're going to keep the legs exactly where they are. Release the hands. And then we're going to take the right hand onto the hip. Lift the left hand all the way up. So for this, if you want a very tricky balance, then we keep these feet exactly where you are. If you know balance is a bit dodgy for you, you can take the feet and take them to about hip distance apart. That's going to make it slightly easier. From here, we're lifting this left hand nice and high. Draw this navel inwards. And then we're going to take the left hand forwards. And I want, again, like we did on the triangle pose, you to be kind of pulled forwards, reach as far forwards as you can. And then just at the moment you think you've gone far enough, imagine someone's grabbed your hand and pulled you a little further. Keep going. And then from here, we can take that hand down to the outer edge of the right leg. Keep those thighs squeezing towards each other. This is going to help with your balance. And then from here, you can either keep the hand to the hip and twist, or you can bring this right hand up to the ceiling. And we hold in our revolved triangle. This is a big balance. This is a hard pose. Good. Put as a little weight through the hand closest to the floor as you possibly can. Good. And it's the same thing. Every inhale, we want to lengthen through that crown of the head a bit more. And every exhale, we want to twist that chest just a little more towards the ceiling. Lovely, everyone. Good work. This is a hard, hard pose. Drop the shoulders towards the hips. Good. We're taking 3 more deep breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling. Reach those fingertips up nice and high. And exhale. Last big breath here. Inhaling. Exhale, twist. Good. And then we can begin to release down. And slowly begin to make your way all the way back to that standing position. Take the hands up above the head. Bend through the knee. And we're going to take both hands down, windmill them down, lift that back heel, and flow through your vinyasa. So coming down through your chaturanga to your baby cobra, upward facing dog, and back to your downward facing dog. Good. So take that time for you, nice and slow, whatever you need to do. If you just want to come to a child's pose instead, you're always welcome to. And from here, once we're in our downward facing dog, we're going to make our way to the other side. So let's lift this left leg nice and high. Bend through the right knee, look between the hands. From here, draw this left knee in towards the chest, and then place that left foot down. Place the back foot to a 45-degree angle, engage to the core, and windmill up. Open out to the hips, and then again, make sure that that front heel is in line with the arch of the back foot. Press those toes in slightly, squeeze through the thighs. These are really straight, strong legs. No one can move you. Take the hands out, and then we can dip into this left hip. From here, as if somebody's pulling that hand forwards, the left hand goes all the way forwards. And then again, just before you go down, as if somebody's grabbed the hand and pulled you a little bit more, And then take the hand down to the shin. Lift the right arm up to the sky, draw the shoulders down the back, lengthen through the crown of the head, and then we twist. So as if somebody's got that hand between the shoulder blades, and you kind of feel it, but it's a little far away from you. Push back into that hand. And we hold. Big deep breaths, putting as little weight through that left hand as you possibly can. And really think about these two sets of fingertips as if they're kind of opposing forces. They don't like each other, they hate each other. They want to be as far away from each other as they possibly can. Good. So really stretching and strengthening through that. Lovely, everyone. Keep holding. 3 more deep breaths. Okay, in this pose, big deep inhale, big deep exhale, twist. On the next inhale, I want you to think about that left side of the body. So between the armpit and between the hip, I want you to lengthen as much as you can through that. Good. Yes. Good. We'll take just one more breath here. Inhale, gaze towards that top hand. And then exhale, change the gaze all the way down to the floor. And on inhale, we shall lift back to stand. Good. From here, take this back foot in slightly. Draw the left hip back, draw the right hip forward. And we're going to take either the elbows or coming back to that reverse prayer pose, taking whichever option feels right for you. Before we go down, you can kind of note that the legs can be just a little bit kind of loose here. So what we want to do is we want to hug and squeeze the middle of the thighs together. So as if they're as if they love each other. They're not enemies. They want to squeeze towards each other. They want to be as close as possible towards each other. Press down through that little back toe and then reach as far forwards as possible. And we drop the chest towards the toes. So again, as if there's that hand at the top of your head and you're pushing against that hand. And then as if there's the string between the heart and the toe and it's being tightened as we exhale. And we breathe. Good, lovely, everyone. Use the breath to help. So take that long, deep inhale and the long, deep exhale. And every exhale, we go just a tiny bit further. Good. We'll take 3 more deep breaths here. Inhaling fully. And exhaling. 2 more. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhale here. And exhale, release down. Let's inhale, lift all the way back to standing. From here, we're going to release the hands. So again, this is where, if you want to help your balance out a bit, you can take the feet to hip distance apart. If you want a nice big juicy challenge, keep those feet in one line. Completely up to you. From here, take the left hand to the hip. Lift the right arm all the way up to the sky. Draw this belly in and squeeze the legs. Take the hand forward, and then again, as if somebody's reaching and pulling you a bit forwards, go, go, go. And then before you come down, I want it to be kind of like they yanked you a bit further forward, go a little bit further, and then take the hand to the outer edge of the leg. Squeeze the thighs, and either just twisting with the hand to the hip, or lifting this left hand up to the sky. And we hold in our revolved triangle. It's a really hard pose. If you start getting cramped, don't worry, you can release out and come back in. Good. Lengthen through that crown of the head. And exhale, looking towards the ceiling if you can. Good. Good. And again, if the hand is up in the air, doesn't need to be, but if it is, then I want you to imagine those 2 hands hate each other and they want to get as far away from each other as they possibly can. Good. Allow that to kind of twist the body just slightly more. We're going to have 3 more deep breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling. Twist. Inhaling, squeeze through the thighs. Exhale, twist. 1 more breath. This is it. Inhale. Exhale, twist, twist, twist. Good. And as you exhale, look back down towards the floor. And on inhale, we can lift back up to stand. From here, both hands nice and high. Bend through this front knee, lift the back heel. Let's place both hands down to the ground, step back and move through your vinyasa. Your options of choice, so baby cobra, up the dog, cobra if you fancy. And then we'll meet back in our downward facing dog. Gazing down between the thighs. And from here, we're going to lift this right leg all the way back up nice and high. Bend through this left leg, look between the hands. I'm going to draw this left knee in towards the chest, place the right foot between the hands. So from here, we can just take that back and down to the ground. Don't worry. And then we can take this and want to heel toe the foot to the outer edge of the mat. So it's all going all the way to the outer edge of the mat, the hands are inside. So we're making our way to a lizard pose. For our lizard, we want to just make sure that this knee is directly on top of the ankle, so it's not going over. You can extend this back leg a little further. And then your options are you can either stay in your lizard here with the knee down, or we can begin to lift the knee off the ground. Press through the hands wherever you are and round through these shoulder blades. So we're round through the shoulder blades, and as we do this, we draw the hips down. Draw the knee in towards the shoulder, and we're just going to hold here for 3 deep breaths. So this isn't a super long hold. Good. Inhaling. Well, it is with my breaths, but and exhaling. Good. Keep these breaths really long. 2 more. Inhale. And as we exhale, drop the hips slightly more. Good. Inhaling, press through the hands. Last breath. And as you exhale, drop the hips a little more and lower the knee down towards the floor. We're coming to a low lizard. From our low lizard, what we can do is, if this feels okay and comfortable for you, I want you to keep the ankle exactly how it is now. So we're not kind of flopping over. We want to keep the ankle really strong, keep the foot flat, but we can take this knee out to the side if that feels okay to come to winged lizard pose. And options are, you can take onto your elbows, if that feels all right, onto your forearms, and we're just simply encouraging the hips down towards the ground. So it's quite strong. We're going to hold for 3 deep breaths. So remember, you can simply take your hands onto the floor and keep that knee inwards and just focus on the hips going down. It's up to you. 3 deep breaths here, inhaling. And exhaling, good. Lovely, yeah, if you want to do a twist into it, Bethany, that's fine. Last 2, inhale. And exhale, drop the hips. Inhaling. And exhaling, good. As you inhale, begin to make your way back to that lizard pose. So draw the knee back in, come back onto the hands. And then from here, we want to just straighten through the leg. So we come to this half split option. So we just want to straighten through the leg and then begin to lift the toes up. So we're lifting the toes towards the face, and you can begin to kind of move that foot to wherever feels right for you. So if you want to take it a bit further forward, that's fine. The main thing is here, we want to lift through the chest and we want to draw this chest towards the toes. So it's a forward fold, just a more active forward fold. Inhale, lift, lengthen. And as you exhale, draw this chest towards the toe. Keep the right leg engaged and active and straight. 3 more deep breaths here. Inhaling. Good. And exhaling. Draw that toe towards the face. Inhaling. Exhaling, fold. Last big breath here. Inhale. And exhale, fold. Good. As you inhale, lift all the way back up. And then we can rock forwards back to that kind of lizard pose. Place both hands down and we'll just lift them back to our downward facing dog. You can move through here a vinyasa if you'd like to move through a vinyasa. So move to your chaturanga, your upward facing dog or baby cobra, to your downward facing dog, or you can stay in your down dog. And we'll just stay in our downward facing dog for a little breath. Inhale and exhale. And once we've all met again, we'll begin to lift that left leg nice and high. Bend through the right knee, look between the hands. Engage the core and draw this knee in towards the chest, and then place this foot between the hands. From here, we take the right knee down towards we take it down towards the ground. And then from here, we want to heel toe this left foot to the outer edge of the mat. So remember, we just want this knee directly on top of the ankle, not further forwards. Place both hands inside, and we're coming to our high lizard. So you can either keep the knee to the floor, that's fine, or tuck the toe under, lift the back of the knee upwards, press through the hands wherever you are, round through the shoulders. And every inhale, we want to push, And every exhale, we want to draw these hips down. So this is an active drawing down of the hips. 3 deep breaths here, inhaling. Good, and exhaling. Inhaling, press. Exhaling, lift the back of the knee and drop the hips. Good, yes. Last big breath here, inhale. Exhale, and we can begin to lower that knee down towards the ground. So we're coming to our low lizard now, our winged lizard potentially. So from here, take the option again that suits you. So you can, keeping that foot flexed, keeping the ankle flexed, we can begin to draw that knee out to the side, see how it is for you. And we can maybe begin to come onto our forearms if that's accessible. The most important thing here that we're doing is we're drawing actively the hips down. And holding here. 3 deep breaths. Yeah, great, Bethany. If you did a twist on that side, do it on the other side too. Perfect. Last 2 deep breaths. Inhale. As we exhale, soften, release down into these hips, drawing them slightly further down. Good. Last big breath here. Inhaling. And exhaling. Draw the hips down, down, down. Good. And then as we inhale, we'll lift all the way back up to that lizard pose. And from here, we're going to straighten this front leg. Draw the toes back towards you. You can wiggle the feet around to what feels right for you. And then we'll inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. And as we exhale, draw that chest towards the toes. It's quite an active stretch here. Keep the leg nice and engaged. So it's not loose, it's an engaged leg. And just keep drawing the chest to the toes. Soften the shoulders to the hips. And we'll hold for 3. Inhaling. And exhaling. Good. 2 more. Inhaling. And exhale. Last big breath. Inhale here. And exhale. As you inhale, lift the chest back up. We can begin to bend through that front knee. And we're going to step back. And you can either come back to your downward facing dog or you can move through a vinyasa. So your choice. And once you've finished, we'll bend the knees and just come to a seated position. So no rush, you can move through the vinyasa. We'll just meet in a nice seated position with the legs out in front of us. And then once here, we're going to sit up nice and tall, so taking the hands all the way up to the ceiling. As we do this, I want you to think about the hips to the fingertips as one entity, and then from the hips to the toes as another. So when we think of the hips to the toes, we want to engage into these legs and make them really strong, make them clasp in towards each other. Flex through the feet, the toes drawing back to the hips. This is one straight line. As we lift up from the hips to the fingertips, we want to draw in through the belly and then lift this chest up towards the ceiling. So this is one straight line from the hips all the way to the fingertips. Take the fingertips forwards. Keep that length through the crown of the head. And then I want you to pull as far forward as you can, keeping these legs nice and straight. Pull as far forward as you can. And again, as if you've got that final little push and they've gone, and you're going a little bit further. Do that. And then take the hands down. You can bind with the toes if you need. Drop the shoulders down towards the hips. Or take the hands to the floor, whichever feels right. And we're going to stay here. We're going to stay in our forward fold for 5 deep breaths. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head every time. So we don't need to move, we just want to lengthen. And every exhale, we fold a little bit more. 4 more breaths here. Inhaling. Exhaling, fold. Good. Inhale. And exhale. 3 more breaths, inhaling. Exhale, fold. Inhale. Exhale, fold, fold, fold. Last big breath. Inhale, lengthen through that crown of the head. Exhale, reach the chest to the toes. And then as you inhale, lift all the way back up to seated. Good. From here, we're going to cross the legs over again. We're going to end with kind of a funky pose. This is our monkey pose, our Hanumanasana. So this is our split. Woohoo! So we've done a lot of our stretching. So we're just going to come at this from a fun angle of wherever we're at. So in order to do this, we want to come back to that kind of half split variation that we were in. So we can draw the heel onto the floor, draw the toes slightly back. And then from this position, it's up to you. So you can either kind of wiggle this foot forwards, or you can work a wiggling the back of the knee all the way back. You can do both at the same time. You can take the hands to the floor or onto the fingertips. If you have any blocks, you can prop yourself up on those. And then we can just hold here. And we're going to hold for a nice 3 breaths. Good. So treating this with kind of a lightness for spirit. Good. Big, deep inhale. Big, deep exhale. Good. So Bethany, think about that crown of the head moving up towards the ceiling. So we're really lengthening through the spine. Good. Yes, lovely. And then drawing that right hip a little bit back and the left a little bit forwards. Good. So it's just, it might not change anything. It's just that activation. Last big breath here, inhaling. And exhale. As we inhale, slowly with control, making our way all the way back out the splits. Well done, everyone. It's a lot. We're going to change the side. So just come back through your table pose, come back through a neutral pose, and then we can extend this left leg out in front of us. So from here, again, same options. You can either wiggle this left foot forward, or you can wiggle the right leg back, or you can do a combination of both. Propping yourself up onto the palms of the hands or onto the fingertips. If you have a mat that's full of friction like mine, it's going to be harder to move your feet around. So lift through the chest, and as you exhale, drop those hips down. And we'll hold in our splits for 3 breaths. I was going to say 3 minutes. We're not holding for 3 minutes. Right. Inhale. And exhale, lower slightly further down. Keep propping yourselves up on your hands, lifting your chest. Good. Really nice. Good. Ajira. I don't know if this is wrong, but Ajira, you look very flexy right now. Inhale. Yay. Yay for angles. Good. We're going to do 2 more deep breaths here because this is usually our dodgy leg. Inhale, lift through the chest. Good. Exhale, sink those hips a little lower. Last breath, I promise. Big, deep inhale. And exhale, sink. On the inhale, let's lift all the way back up. Good work, everybody. Splits is not easy. Let's move back to that table pose. And then from table, we can begin to cross the legs. And we're going to come all the way onto our back. We did the work. We've earned the Shavasana. So coming back on the back. Just before we do so, let's draw these knees in towards us. Draw the knees together. You can take the arms out into a T shape. And then let's rock these knees over to the right hand side. See if you can get them all the way over. It doesn't matter if you can't. You can use the hand to kind of help prop them up. We're just coming to a twist here. Or you can take this right hand over onto the left thigh if you're fully twisted. Think about releasing this left shoulder down onto the floor as much as you can and looking over to the right. Let's hold 2 deep breaths. Inhale, closing the eyes maybe. And exhaling. Last big breath, deep inhale. And deep exhale. As you inhale, begin to lift all the way back up and rolling over to the left hand side. Dropping the knees down, maybe helping and supporting with the left hand, or taking this left hand on top of the right thigh. Dropping the right shoulder down, gazing over to the right hand, closing the eyes, 2 deep breaths here. Inhaling. And exhaling. Last big breath, inhale. And exhale. As we inhale, draw the knees back in. And then we can release the legs out. So making our way into our Shavasana, taking the feet about the width of the mat, letting the feet flop out to the side, taking the arms a little away from the body, closing the eyes. And allowing yourself to come back to a natural breath. Allowing yourself to release into this Shavasana. Just focusing on the inhales and the exhales. Allowing the body to fully release into your Shavasana. And then begin to come back to that breath. So taking a big deep inhale into the belly. Exhaling through the mouth. One more here, big deep inhale to the belly. Exhale through the mouth. And begin to wiggle the fingertips and the toes. And taking the arms up over the head to the floor behind you. Give yourself a big stretch. Through the legs, through the arms, full body stretch. And then we can draw the knees in towards the chest and give yourself a squeeze, give yourself a hug. And begin to roll over onto whichever side of the body feels right for you. Using the arm nearest the floor as a cushion for the head. Giving yourself a moment here. And then with the eyes closed, trying to see if you can make your way back to a seated position. Any comfortable seated position. And then just placing the hands onto the thighs. And if the eyes reopen, just close them again once you're there. And once you're settled, take the hands together at the heart center, palms together. Lengthen through that crown of the head one last time. Through the very top of the head, soften through the shoulders, soften through the hips and a little into the spine as we bow the head down towards the hands. And then begin to flutter the eyes open and looking up. Well done today. Thank you so much for joining me. It was a long, slow burn. So good work. I'm teaching, all next week, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. And what was I going to say? Yes, it's going to be kind of long holds. We're going to do more floor work next week. So we'll be a bit more on the floor. That doesn't mean it's easier. It just means it's more on the floor. So if you're interested in that, that's a good week for you. I also have the three workshops. If you haven't seen them, coming up on the 9th and 10th of October. This is breaking down yoga poses. Even if you've been to one before, it's going to be very different this time. If you can come in person, that's even better because there's going to be a lots of physical adjustments. And really finding out the kind of nitty-gritty of the poses and getting you into the right positions and to progress even further from there. So if you're interested in that, have a look, 9th and 10th of October. If you've got any questions, just stay on and I'll be happy to answer. Otherwise, have a wonderful day. You're already done by 7. Well done.